Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mic Check
2.
My name is Rachel.
And I'm Sean.
And we are still missing our lovely co-host, Ajai. She is actually soon to return. We're anticipating August, so we'll be back to our whole circle soon. We're looking forward to having her back. We miss her dearly. And
I was gonna carry her in on a cat with her cast on.
Yeah, we're just gonna carry her on our back. We miss her a lot. And it's really important that we highlight her because we have just officially made 1 year on Mic Check 2. Yay! Hashtag 1 year in the gang. Is that too long?
No, it's fine.
Hashtag?
And it really has been exactly 1 year because we started with the Pride Month.
Yeah. Hashtag 365. Hashtag. I'm trying to keep the momentum going on our hashtag game. We can't just drop it.
Rachel's known for hashtags.
Yeah.
So
hashtag
we have
queen.
one per episode.
But yeah, this is really exciting. I will just want to start off by saying I did not expect this to even be a thing. So to see us a whole year later and how much we evolved is crazy. I remember our first episode was Pride last year, and we were shaking in our boots.
Literally.
And originally, a lot of you may not know this, it was originally just me and Ajai were the host. And then Sean carried that episode so well. We begged him and fed him.
They didn't feed me.
And clothed him with a nice Mic Check 2 shirt.
It wasn't a plate around.
It was a plate. You got fed. We bribed him to come on, and he has been a joy ever since. So you started us off.
And now here we are.
And here we are a whole year later.
19 episodes later?
19 episodes later. So let's kind of talk about our episodes. What was your favorite?
My favorite, honestly, it changed. It was originally the first episode, but then after talking with Bunny and Mallard, it's the Love After HIV episode.
Oh yeah, you are that. I knew you were gonna say that one. That's
like my little baby project. That was my favorite.
He's always like pushing that one. Like, let's watch it again.
So if y'all go back, I forgot what episode number it was, but Love After HIV was very good, very informative.
That was good. I liked. It was a few good ones. I like setting healthy boundaries. Mm-hmm. And then I think that was just with me, you, and Ajai. And I remember there's Ajai just being like, no is a sentence.
Hashtag no is a sentence.
And I also enjoyed the one with Victor for mental health.
Mental health, that was a really good one. Victor had carried a lot of that conversation. So
yeah.
Shout out to Victor because his personality was just amazing. Oh, and Gary with the T was a good one.
Gary with the T was good. I enjoyed Gary because he gave us a lot of pointers. Before I talk about the pointers, I also want to say I like the drug recovery one. That one was very informative about, like, you know, people who are on drugs, it's being like a mental issue. Like, it's not really something that they can control, and just like giving grace and things like that. So I feel like pretty much all of our episodes have been very
things like that.
Of that nature. Oh my God, did I say the forbidden?
You said the forbidden.
Hashtag.
We're gonna come back to that in a little bit. So y'all stay tuned. I'm waiting for that moment.
But I feel like I've learned something that I didn't expect to learn. So I've really enjoyed doing the podcast and just like really learning about different topics. So I'm interested to see what we'll do next.
Exactly. And for those that are just now tuning in for their first time, me, Rachel, Ajai, Troy, Jeremy, we do a monthly podcast, and we've covered topics from mental health, pediatric care, suicide awareness. We've even had our CEO on here talking about building a business. So shout out Mr. Goody. Of course, my favorite, Love After HIV.
Yes. That was actually a really good episode.
Conscious eating habits. That was a good one with Miss Hawthorne.
And let's not forget Teeth Have Feelings Too.
And our dental apartment. So we don't just talk about silly stuff. We talk about serious stuff. We talk about work stuff.
Mm-hmm. Stuff that matters.
Yeah, stuff that matters for us.
To us, at least. But I did like the dental one. Nicole, shout out to Nicole. That one was like, she was just like so nervous to come on, but she really did a really good job.
Her hands were really sweaty. It was pretty funny.
Shaky. But
what did you learn? So we've done 19 episodes. What is something that you think you learned?
I learned that
in our history of, I guess, podcasting.
Our history of podcast. I learned that to be honest, like you're really the only thing standing in your way of doing stuff. Because when we started this, I was like, no way. Like, why would they pick me to do this? Like, excuse me? Like, it's 200 employees. Like, y'all don't have no other options here, right? But then, like, once I kind of got over the fear of doing it, it's actually, I really, really enjoyed coming out here and talking and surprisingly, like
showing
a little personality. So I think for me, what I learned just an overall podcast is like, don't limit yourself. Like I never even thought like this would be an option. Of like, my background is in social work, so I just like, a podcast. I like to just be in the back, helping people, and assisting them on and making sure their life is functioning. And now here I am, like
smiling away in the camera.
I know, like
she's a face now.
Just like talking about stuff that I think is important. So I think it's pretty cool. And I also learned it is a lot of work that goes into podcasts. Like you just hop on and you listen, but you don't really like see the behind the scenes work. Like we have to think about questions, topics. Troy comes in.
Is there a way we can get you to jump in?
Yeah, let's see your face, Troy.
Can the people see your face?
The man behind the camera.
I mean, it's an anniversary, so people can actually see. A lot of the setup literally was Troy. So
yeah,
we
come
have
on,
cameras
Troy.
in here, sound equipment, wires.
This is Troy, everyone, the man behind the scenes. He's in all of our photos.
Yeah,
though.
if you ever see him in our thumbnails, he's the guy behind the scenes.
Yes.
So
he's the one who comes up, like Sean mentioned. He's setting up this lovely equipment, making sure our mics work. Should we talk about the episode that we did?
Which one?
Where we recorded the whole episode.
Oh, so.
Funny story. Go ahead.
So, which topic was? Oh no,
it was mental health.
It was mental health with Rolinda, and it was such a. It was the most probably one of the most energetic episodes we've ever done, and literally we didn't have to look at questions. Like it literally was just a whole conversation of just boom, 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 and we were just going. So like 30 minutes in, Troy's like, guys, I got some bad news. And we're all like, oh, God, what's going on? What's going on? It didn't record.
Or it was a bad record.
Or it was a bad recording.
He's like, it's so much static and feedback. We're going to have to do it again. And for y'all who don't know Aja, the sweetest soul you'll ever meet. But when she's hungry, her spirit just deflates. It just like...
It was like a balloon.
And when I tell y'all, Aja carried that episode for us, that first 30 minutes, she was just like, boom, 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 asking all the questions. She was just full of life. Once Troy said, we'll start from the top, Aja sat back in that chair the whole time.
She really did. She just, for those that are not on YouTube, but we're just leaning
back in our chair. She just sat back. And I'm if you watch that episode, if you go back and watch, you can see me like tapping her, like, ask some questions. She's just like, girl.
I can't.
I'm so hungry. So we have learned, another thing I learned is eat before you podcast.
Yes.
Hashtag.
Have a cup of coffee, eat, because even for me, this is a whole new realm of entertainment for me.
Yeah. So what have you learned? Because you are used to being in the limelight, entertainment. For those who don't know, Sean DJs.
All of that. For me, it was the random misuse of words that I've gotten coached on repeatedly.
Would you like to share one?
No. So the piggyback. Piggyback was my favorite word for I think 8 episodes.
Oh my god!
I wanted to piggyback, so I learned piggyback is a bad word, and things of that nature.
Oh yeah, he was just killing it.
Things of that nature. What
was my word? Like I used to be like there.
Yours is a clap.
I do love the clap. Like we have to start off, and their selves. I'm
their selves.
I'm gonna let them introduce their selves. And Troy's like, that's not a word, and I'm just like. That's not a word. I'm like looking at Aja like, when did that not become a word? That's totally a word. Their self. And Troy had to get me together. He is not only our behind the scenes, but he's our grammar.
Yeah, he's our grammar coach, guru, grammar police.
Yes,
you guys are using the forbidden words.
And
what was Asha's was?
oh goodness,
I can't think of it. See, now that she's
Aja didn't really like have bad moments. I'll say that. Like
until she was hungry.
But she really like she was like our little glue to keep it. Like it was a good balance. Mm-hmm. But I will say when we first started and we did have Sean join permanently on.
Here it comes. I think I know where she's going with this already.
His alter ego came into play, and this was another thing Troy had to get on him about. He would always say, "For my podcast." He would interview. We were interviewing people, and he'd be like, "For my podcast, I would just think that." Thank you for coming on my podcast. And we had to kind of do a Temptations moment with him. We had to sit him down. And
Diana Ross and Supreme.
Yeah, and tell him, nobody's here to see you, Otis.
Hey.
And
Kanye shrug.
Not the Kanye shrug. But he quickly was just like, I think it was only like one episode. You were just like, got carried away with. You were really into it. I wish I remembered it. It's been a really great run. I really enjoyed it.
What was something else? Oh, and one thing I really did take away, the reason I enjoyed Gary with the T so much, yes. Just because he's a professional in podcasting and radio. Mm-hmm. He actually, once we got done with that episode, we asked him for pointers, and I know one thing he said was to make sure that we stayed rapid fire with our questions, so not to have downtime and airtime. So that was really insightful because, sometimes y'all don't see it because I know Troy's really good at editing things, but if we mess up or if we get a brain fart, we pause and we're like, okay, what's the next question?
Right.
And then we have to look. And so he was like, you guys got to be ready and just keep the conversation flowing. So that was really informative just from a pro, I would say. And that's it. Yeah.
That was, really great advice. And then also that was our first and only so far live episode. So I guess we would like to hear from you guys. Would y'all like us to do more live episodes? That was a little intimidating for me because...
And I think what it was because Jeremy actually suggested next time if we do the live to have a moderator. Mm-hmm. So that was... I remember I had my phone set up like right in a corner and I kept having to turn around.
Yeah, we were...
So if we had at least someone holding up like a little card or something to...
Cue us to let us know.
The questions, that would be cool. I actually really like the live.
You liked the live?
I loved it. To be honest, it gives a more interactive feel to like the listeners. So if they want to, I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. Now I was scared. I was like, please, I hope y'all don't come on here
acting a fool. Yeah,
and say some crazy stuff. The craziest things I got were, can you shout us out?
Yeah. So I did enjoy the live. Like I said, it was intimidating at first, just like because we do mess up, and Troy, like you said, is our editor. So it was just like.
We can't mess up.
Oh my God. And then just setting up, we were like, oh, it's easy. We'll just pop up on Instagram. It was so much static, everybody trying to get up on Instagram at the same time in here. And we were just like, it was just like, okay, one person on live. And then it was trying to figure out the camera angle to, really show everything that's going on in here. So that was just a nice learning curve about live. So I think next time we'll be more prepared.
But it was fun.
It was fun.
It really was.
And Gary was amazing. He just was just like
a big ray of sunshine.
Yeah, asking questions so we could know what to ask, and because when you actually have somebody who
does it,
like this is his real time gig, we were just like, tell us more.
Okay, like you just talk and we'll just listen, take notes.
So do you feel like you have? Speaking of Gary, he said that his personality is like an entertainment personality. Like he has Gary. And then he has Gary with the T personality. When you're like DJing, I'm getting personal. Do you have a entertainment ego personality?
I have Sean and I have Panda.
Oh,
there's two different people.
Was Panda the one that was welcoming us to his podcast, or? Yeah,
Panda's the one that welcomes us to the podcast, and he likes to be just out there. Sean is the more introverted, quiet. I just want to eat and go home and go to sleep kind of guy.
Oh. So, like, what do you do to prep for that alter identity, I guess?
So, I know Rachel said it before. I listen to music really, really loud.
Oh, yeah.
So, when I pull up, Rachel's like, I know when he's here because I can hear his music.
It's like blaring from the parking lot. That's so true.
Because I'm, like, half asleep. So, by the time, like, 7, 8 o'clock hits, I'm, like, asleep. But get on that beltway, and I'm just...
And it just wakes you up.
I'm up. So, here I am.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what I do to like turn on and off. I think I'm just
what
you get is what you see kind of.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, like this is kind of me.
If it's good, if it's bad, this is Rachel.
This is me. I'm just like,
If the hair is up, if the hair is down. It's one or the other, not in between.
oh, that's what we should do. We should go through our hairstyles.
Yes, let's go through our hairstyles.
Because Sean has switched it up so much. If y'all watching on YouTube, he has kept a different, if you notice, a different style for every episode.
If y'all could see my face when she said that in the side eye, that just...
No, but we definitely kept some styles up here. So don't knock it. But what I was going to say, so we did learn a lot. What are you hoping to bring? I know more lives.
I would love to do more lives. I think, like I said, that's a really great interactive aspect, and I know with the times we're in, people like to be more interactive, especially on social media. So I would love that. One, maybe two, maybe three, who knows? But I would like to actually, if we find a potential patient that's comfortable with it, bring them on. I would love to have a patient's point of view and not just from
staff
and point of views. I think a patient point of view of things would be great. So even like mental health, or even, I gotta say it again, the love after HIV. Even if we find like a legitimate good love story, like I would love to find that and interview and be like, how was the process? How did you guys meet? How was it? Like, how was y'all's first date? Like, how was everything?
Because what Mallory did say on that I love is just like, no matter what, love is a risk.
Right.
So that would be really interesting to kind of get different perspectives. I really like that.
Yeah, so I mean, even if you are listening, even if you're not necessarily a patient of St. Hope, but even if you're listening and you will potentially want to pitch an idea, or if you may have a suggestion, just reach out to us via the DM or in the comment section, and just let us know you may have an idea. You may want to be on a podcast. If you're a patient of ours, definitely reach out. Right. I would love to hear your voice. Rachel and Aja would love to ask you a million questions.
1,000,001. I think for me, so like you mentioned, we do these, we record twice a month for the podcast to release on the second and fourth Wednesdays so far. The podcast that I listen to outside of this one is like mysteries and just like the latest gossip going on. And I found it kind of like, oh my God, what are we going to talk about next? Because, when we come on here, like the news may have already like passed. Like, the big thing right now is the submarines.
Oh, good.
Missing thing. And I like talking about like what's going on in the local stuff.
Local gossip.
But it's like kind of hard because this is going to release like on Wednesday, and that's going to be like last week's news. So I would love to just kind of get more fresh topics. So we would definitely love to hear from the people that are listeners and tell us what y'all want to hear. So I think that's really great. And just having a new perspective come on.
Yeah. I'm open. I'm really open to that. What do you think? You think we need any more little surprises, changes?
I think that we are going to come with some new merch on our shirts. And we're going to come with some heat. We're going to into our second year. Like, if we wrap this 1 year up.
We're going to bring Troy on and do an interview.
Right.
And we're going to have him multitask. So you're going to see him run back and forth repeatedly. It's going to be awesome. And
we should, next time Jeremy comes down, we're going to get Jeremy on too.
Oh.
Because he's our graphic designer and things like that. And I think it's just like interesting to...
We've never had Jeremy on the... Has he been?
He did the live. Okay. He came for live.
Oh, he came for live.
But he's never on. Yeah, he was never on camera.
We got to have Jeremy on one.
So this is us bullying Jeremy to come on.
You're being voluntold.
Voluntold, Jeremy. We'll see you soon. So we just talked about like our favorite moments. What was one of your least favorite moments, if you could think of one?
Honestly, I think one of my least favorite moments was when, people don't know this, but someone really close to me had passed away, and I had to come and do a podcast. Or Uncle had passed. No. And I had to do a podcast the next day. It was tragic.
Ew, yeah.
That was like the most draining mentally ever. Yeah. Because it's like, oh my God, I just want to be in a bed and lay down. But I can't really say, other than that, most of for the majority, I love what we do. I don't have a negative moment. I think we have more funny moments, and a lot of our negative stuff kind of
Like it, yeah, it doesn't
gets
really,
overshadowed with the funny stuff because I think we turn the negatives into the positives so quickly.
right. So the only negative, of course, was having to re-record because we were hungry. We were hangry at that point. But like I agree, overall, it's been really a positive experience. I would say. I just want to piggyback.
We're using all of our bad words.
Or bad word. Piggyback on that though. It's just funny that you mentioned. I think that's just like a great point. How you're still expected to show up even when things are going on in your personal life. So I think that's why I really enjoyed the boundaries podcast, like just setting boundaries. But it's really hard to do at work because you may be out of PTO, so you can't take off and you still have to show up. Or even if you decide like, okay, work would just be a better option than staying at home for me, so I'm going to show up. Mm-hmm. And then people are still expecting your same personality or, your same energy. And sometimes, you just want to be chilled and not bring the fire,
Right. You don't want to kill the vibe.
Yeah. So I think it's just really interesting in doing this. I just wonder too how many guests we've had who may have been experiencing something and then they had to like, hey, we're doing a podcast on Wednesday. Show up for us.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I think everybody looks forward to being on a podcast. It's like, oh my God, I get to get out of work for like an hour. Yes.
It's like a whole hour out of here. Yes. Actually, we actually have tongue twister. We actually have had some that were like, don't invite me back on that podcast. They were so nervous. Really? Yes.
Oh.
They warmed up. No. They warmed up after. Like once they were done, they were like, oh, that wasn't that bad. You remember like we had like Lynn and like Latricia come with like papers and they were like, oh my God,
they brought like notebooks. And I was like, girl, what is that?
They were nervous. But by the end of it, they were just like, oh.
That actually is a funny moment because Latricia and Lynn are not the only ones that have brought papers.
Like almost everybody.
Victor brought his laptop.
Oh, yeah.
Had notes.
Hey, also Mr. Goody too. He had his laptop.
He had his laptop, his tablet, just prepared. I'm like,
we just here to have a conversation with you, yeah.
Y'all thinking y'all are about to interview for Vogue magazine and Forbes, but okay.
It's just mic check too. So I think that's very interesting. Just that could be another topic too. Just like overcoming your personal battles and still like how do you show up?
That would be good.
Because I mean I could probably talk about that all day.
Is this going to be an unpacking moment?
Let's unpack it.
No, let's not unpack today.
Okay.
We'll bring Mallory back on and we'll unpack later.
So she can hold my hand through it, yeah.
There we go.
That'll be awesome. What I'm looking forward to, I think what we haven't touched yet was podiatry.
Mm-hmm. She's been running from me.
She's been running from yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
I messed with Dr. McKinney not because she comes to Sugarland on Thursdays, and I messed with her. I'm like, you ready for that podcast? Or she just be like, boy.
The reason I'm interested in that one is because my like little weird habit. I like watching like weird stuff on YouTube, like the chiropractor, or like people getting their toes. If y'all can see the way Sean and Joy looking at me, they like the videos that are made to like relax you, like
Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yeah, you don't watch that? No. Okay. Just
crickets.
Well, I'm just interested to see like if you wasn't in your current career, what would you be doing? Like me, I think I would be in dermatology.
I'd be DJing full time.
Full time. Okay. Well, never mind then. So I'm just interested in her coming on because I think that's just a really interesting topic, and I think we're also gonna do with Cindy Wallace. We're trying to get Cindy on.
We're gonna try to. Our goal is to have a trans awareness episode coming soon, so make sure you guys stay on the lookout for that. If you are a member of our trans community, we would love to have you on for that episode, especially with Cindy. The goal is to have a very unique conversation with that so we can learn about pronouns, do's and don'ts, the process, mental health awareness with that as far as overcoming adversity, because I know there's times being someone in our trans community can be extremely hard. So I would love to reach out to you guys. So if you see me at Sugarland, or if you see Rachel or Aja or any one of our staff, just reach out and just say, hey, I want to be on that in particular podcast. Please.
We're begging.
We're begging. Literally begging.
Begging, yes. I think that would be really, really, really interesting. And I'm just interested to see what the viewers want to hear from us.
I wonder if we could do like a poll. Like one day, like just make like a poll on like Instagram or just
and YouTube. We can definitely do that. It's gonna be on this one. Watch.
And then put it like even on the little, remember on Instagram, you know how they have the little poll option?
Yeah.
And we could put different topics and then we'll let viewers
choose.
the viewer's choice topic. Boom. There it is. Viewer's choice topic.
Little Deshaun, though, that was already happening here. So the fact that he just had an aha moment shows that he did not blast music coming in this morning because he's still asleep.
I did a little bit.
That's funny. Okay, so least favorite moments. We can't really think of too many because it's just really been a great thing. When you were told, I do want to know, when you were like, hey, Sean, we want you on full time, what were your thoughts?
I was like, oh, okay.
You were like excited. You were that person that was like, oh, I get an hour out of the clinic.
That was literally me. I was like, oh, okay, sure. I get to be at the clinic. I get to talk. It's easy.
That's easy.
I already talk on the mic on the weekend, so it's not too bad.
Right. Is this different though? Like, cause DJing, you let the music do the talking.
DJing, you yell and you're telling people to go to a bar and buy alcohol. This one, you have to actually engage and you have to
last call.
Yeah, it's like last call, 2:00. This one, you actually show more of a personality. Like you can get deep, you could be funny, and you really have to be able to hold a conversation. Right. DJing on a mic, you don't hold. It's a 5-second in and out. Boom,
kind
boom.
of thing. And speaking of whole conversations, I really appreciated the last episode we did with Pride. I feel like we got to know you a little bit more. You opened up about some stuff, and I think it was a very touching story for our listeners. Maybe going through the same thing or know somebody who's going through something similar. So I think that was a really good one.
Oh, thank you.
That's gonna be top 3 for me for sure. Hearts. Wait, that's Aja. Hearts. So you can tell we really miss Aja. We need really her back. I need August her. Cannot come soon enough.
Can I say the funny moment again?
Go ahead.
I know we always bring it up, but I still want to say it just because Aja. So when we break and Troy has to edit the bad stuff out, we'll come in and Rachel will say, all right, well, what's your...
I'll be like, let's go ahead and dive into it.
And so Aja, I love, this is my favorite Aja moment for me. So she looked at her and the room was just quiet. She's like, dive into what?
What are we doing? But if you notice, okay, so that's my overused line too. I couldn't get introduce themselves. That's not a word I learned. And then I'm always like, let's dive into it.
What are we diving into?
The topic. Just like, I'm looking at everybody like, it's the topic. We're like, it's the top. We're diving into the topic. I just thought that was like a great
it was great
intro.
Rachel, it was great.
But every time I say it, y'all be looking at me like,
well, that's part of your brand now.
Yeah,
it was.
It's my identity. So yeah,
what if we had individualized T-shirts with our little?
Oh my God, that would be so cute. That'd be so cute. Okay, let's dive into it. That's what mine's gonna say. Mic check 2.
Piggyback. Mine's gonna have a little pig on it.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna be like, what are we diving into?
With a little swimming pool. Mic check 2.
Mic check 2. Yeah, that'd be cute. And we also should have some stuff to give away coming soon. That's going to be exciting. We currently are giving away some Pride t-shirts. We're just trying to get some of our following up on some of our social media platforms. So if you have an appointment and, you come in, you get a chance to win a free Pride shirt.
Yep. So inquire at your local front desk of St. Hope.
Clinic. And Jeremy really did his thing on those shirts. Everybody is like raving about them. They're really nice.
The people at Sugarland are literally like, what's that? I want one. How do we get one? I'm like, oh my God. So Jeremy, you really killed it with that shirt.
Yeah, he snapped.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's funny because a lot of people were like, no, I'm okay. And then when the shirts dropped, everybody was like sending me messages like, I'll pay for one. So now I got to redo my list. But the shirts are really, really nice. So if you have an appointment this month and you're interested.
Are we going to be doing it after this? Or if we still have some left over?
Yeah, while supplies last.
There we go, while supplies last. It's like Mattel.
You got to note that, while supplies last. But I also want to talk about what's something that you've learned. We talked about what we learned, but something you learned about one of your co-hosts since the podcast.
I really genuinely like the mix of personalities. Each time, because for me, I'm only at one location. So I only interact with X amount of people on a daily basis. So when we start bringing in the providers, or we start bringing in the counselors or the social workers from different departments and locations, it's like, oh, okay, cool. I get to know you, especially if we have a new face. Like I'll use Victor as an example. That was actually my first time meeting him. Never met him, and because I think we miss each other when we go do like the company outings or stuff. So I've never met him. So just to be able to talk to him and we get to vibe each other out, and we're like, you're really cool. Like, hey, let's hang out. And now if we see each other at the next company, I was like, hey, buddy, what's going on?
Friends.
We're friends now.
Yeah, I would agree. I have enjoyed getting to know people outside of their work persona, I guess you could say, because sometimes people when they're working, it's like they have like their work business professional face. But when we literally pause, they're like, oh God, how was that? Do I need to re-say it? So it's like really funny seeing people react. I also enjoy getting, like I said, to know you better, getting to know Aja better, even though we're friends outside.
We pretty much know each other outside.
Yeah, but it's still seeing people like in a work environment still be able to bring their personalities. So I really, really have enjoyed that. And I look forward to continuing that. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to share this platform with you both. And
Asha.
And Aja.
Or is her reaching out?
And just getting to, speak on things that I think are really, really important for the community to know. And I just look forward to bringing some more heavy topics that aren't really talked about and not like the cookie cutter way.
We're going to get deep.
You ready to dive into it?
What are we diving into?
The top.
I'm just kidding.
We're going to have to regroup in the back.
But seriously, no, I appreciate the opportunity too. It's been fun. It really has. Just being able to talk to everybody and seeing like the ins and outs of like the technical aspect of some of this stuff, I actually think about buying for myself, just for future reference. But that's another story for another day.
Right. And we also, a lot of people don't know, it was one time we got to meet some kids doing community. They were in college.
Oh, were they interning?
Interns.
They were interns.
And that was pretty cool. Like that, this was like what they were trying to get up into doing podcasts, making beats and different stuff like that. So shout out to them. That was cool. Yeah, just getting to meet different people. That's where I thrive.
And I have to start really picking out random people out of different locations to come in for topics.
I know. So, I know we're like doing like CT. We're launching like Botox. It's a lot coming. Like,
yeah, she said Botox for those that are listening.
Trey, you gotta do like a special effect.
Like a little insert with like a little needle going into like a cheek.
Yeah, and I think, I'm looking forward to another 365 days with you.
Me too. And hopefully soon I'll be hearing from Aja again.
Yeah.
We keep shouting her out because we said we were going to shower her with love this episode.
Yes.
So.
I think this is probably like my longest, healthiest relationship.
Girl. If y'all could have seen my face.
Jokes. Okay. I'm just being silly. But yeah. Healthy relationships. That ties into another topic.
We actually do offer healthy relationships class again now.
Oh yes, we also
Charlotta and Mallory. I know it's a very random plug-in, but Charlotta and Mallory actually have a healthy relationships class that they have now started doing, centered out of Sugarland and our Greenspoint location
and Conroe.
And even if you don't go to one of those 3 locations, you can still join in on the meeting virtually via Zoom. So you can definitely reach out to Charlotta or you can reach out to Mallory. And if you don't have their contacts, someone will get you in a place to get to them and they can reach out back to you.
Right. So that's a lot. That's a lot coming.
Yeah. So for our patients that aren't sure of all of our resources, make sure you inquire because there's a lot of things that we do offer that I know a lot of people still don't know about. There's a lot of new things happening that our staff are learning about. So as the year goes on, it's just adding more and more to it. So it's becoming a more patient-centered home for everything. So not just dental, not just medical, not just psychiatry, pharmacy, but now we're doing imaging work and
all the fancy stuff.
I'm going to say it, things of that nature.
But I'm really also looking forward to getting back into the community. A lot of people don't know that me and Sean are in the marketing department as well. So we'll be doing a lot more like community work coming up in the last quarter of the year.
You'll see us outside your local grocery stores.
You can see Sean's face like this is new to him. But yeah, we're going outside. COVID's gone. We're outside.
We're going to wait till the sun goes down now.
That's another topic. Have you seen those memes where they're like, "Don't come to Houston. This is the preheat season." I'm like,
and we're already in triple digits, and I'm over it.
No.
Even coming in here today, we were standing at the door for like 3 minutes, and like
not even.
my skin was melting. Literally, it was awful.
No, like we had to start. We had to start 10 minutes late so he could cool down.
I had to stand under a vent. I'm fat. It's a struggle.
You're not fat. You just.
I'm full of love.
Yeah, you have big bones. That's what they say.
Fluffy.
No, they say big. Like back in the day, they'd be like, "You're not fat. You just got big bone, heavy bones."
I say I'm fluffy.
I just say heavy bones because that made me feel like
I'm heavy regardless.
I'm sturdy.
I'm just heavy.
Okay, well, own your truth.
Living your truth.
Living
Episode 18. Living in your truth.
Oh, way to piggyback. All right. Well, we really enjoyed recapping our whole year, and we look forward to a lot of things coming up. And stay tuned. And we really want to hear from you guys. So, like Sean said, we want to comment. We're gonna put up a poll. We also send out emails when we release our podcast, so check your emails. And
it comes to the app now too. I've been seeing some patients show me their Helo apps, so it does actually pop up when our podcast go live.
So show us some love. We want to keep these going. We want to do it. We want a whole nother year of fresh topics and fresh things to do. So give us some things to talk about.
Exactly. And again, we do have a lot of new things coming, so make sure, even if you're not a patient of St. Hope and you just want to inquire about all the services that we do offer, you can visit our website at offeringhope.org. You can give us a call at 713-778-1300. And here at St. Hope Healthcare, you're more than just a number.